Back when highways were wide and fuel was cheap, America built cars that didn't just turn heads, they owned the road. With endless chrome, pillowy interiors, and engines big enough to power a boat, these machines weren't just transportation, they were moving monuments. In this video, we'll take you back to the era of white-wall tires, opera windows, and full-size frames stretching over 214 inches long. Some you'll remember. Most you've never even heard of. So buckle up, the giants of the golden age are rolling in. Number 1. 1973 Imperial LeBaron. When Dodge found itself without a full-sized flagship after the flop of the '62 Polara, they didn't just scramble. They brought back big in a bold way with the 1963 Dodge Custom 880. Stretching over 215 inches long with tail fins toned down but still present, this car was a rolling symbol of American size and style. Built on the Chrysler Newport platform, it borrowed much of its bulk and presence from the bigger Chrysler cousins, but added Dodge's own flair. Massive chrome bumpers, wide-set quad headlights, and a sleek, elongated profile that looked like it was made to cruise Route 66 in style. Under the hood? A monstrous 361 cubic inch V8 pushing out 265 horsepower, and if that wasn't enough, buyers could opt for the 383 or even the 413 V8. Engines big enough to move mountains or at least pass everything but a gas station. Despite its size and style, the Custom 880 lived in the shadows of Ford's Galaxy and Chevy's Impala, making it a forgotten land yacht that's now rare, underrated, and unmistakably American. Number 2. 1975 Buick Electra 225. When most people hear Dodge Charger, they picture muscle, but by 1975, the Charger SE had morphed into something much bigger, bolder, and more luxurious than its '60s roots. This wasn't the street racer anymore. It was a personal land yacht. At over 220 inches long, the 1975 Charger SE was one of the biggest two-door coupes Dodge ever built, with a formal roofline, opera windows, and plush velour interiors that felt more like a lounge than a cockpit. It shared a platform with the Chrysler Cordoba, and while it had sporty DNA, it was clearly aimed at comfort, size, and presence. Under the hood? A 360 or optional 400 cubic inch V8. Not built for speed anymore, but pure cruising power. This Charger came with vinyl tops, hidden headlights, and enough chrome to reflect a whole sunset. It may not have burned rubber like its predecessors, but in the world of oversized personal luxury coupes, the 75 SE was king. And today, it's a rarely remembered chapter in Charger history that screams 1970s America. Number 3. 1979 Lincoln Continental Mark V. In 1973, Chevrolet's Impala Custom Coupe was a full-sized statement car, wide, long, and unmistakably American. Measuring nearly 18.5 feet in length and tipping the scales at over 4,400 pounds, this beast was built for big roads and even bigger presence. The Custom Coupe featured a distinctive colonnade hardtop design with a fixed B-pillar and wide rear quarter windows that gave it a sweeping, low-slung profile. Beneath the sculpted hood sat a standard 350 cubic inch V8, with options going all the way up to a 454 big block that could shake the asphalt. But this Impala wasn't just brawn, it came loaded with luxury touches. Plush bench seats, faux wood trim, power everything, and a ride so smooth it felt like floating. Despite its size and bold looks, the '73 Impala Custom Coupe often gets overshadowed by its lowrider legacy and earlier muscle car versions. But make no mistake, this was a king-sized cruiser built for comfort, style, and the open American highway. Number 4. 1974 Oldsmobile 98 LS. If there was ever a car that looked like it could clear traffic just by showing up, it was the 1977 Dodge Royal Monaco, Dodge's final full-size flagship before downsizing swept through Detroit. Stretching nearly 19 feet long with a wheelbase over 121 inches, the Royal Monaco was built like a luxury battleship. It was Dodge's answer to Ford's LTD and Chevy's Caprice, but with more muscle under the hood and a front end that looked like it belonged on a presidential limo. The base engine was a 318 V8, but most came equipped with a mighty 400 or 440 cubic inch big blocks, built for effortless highway cruising, towing power, and pure intimidation. Inside, it was plush to the max. Button-tufted velour seats, thick carpet, wood-grain dash, and power everything. It even made a name for itself in pop culture as police cars and unmarked cruisers, thanks to its size and speed. The 1977 model marked the end of the line for big Dodges, making the Royal Monaco one of the last true giants of the American road, a forgotten heavyweight that deserves a salute. Number 5. 1978 Chrysler New Yorker Brougham. The 1975 Cadillac Coupe DeVille wasn't just a car. It was the American dream on four wheels. Measuring a jaw-dropping 230 inches long, this two-door land yacht was longer than a modern Suburban and draped in more chrome than a 1950s jukebox. Powered by a monstrous 500 cubic inch V8, it didn't sprint. It glided with quiet authority, offering torque for days and a ride so smooth you could balance a drink on the dash at 80 miles per hour. Inside, it was luxury to the max. Pillow-tufted leather seats, digital clock, automatic climate control, and enough interior space to qualify as a studio apartment. The opera windows, hidden headlamps, and Cadillac crest told the world you had made it, and weren't afraid to show it. While fuel crises and downsizing were just around the corner, the 75 Coupe DeVille stood defiant, a final glorious expression of unfiltered American excess. Today, it's a floating monument to the era when bigger was better, and nothing said success like a Cadillac that barely fit in your garage. Number 6. 1975 Cadillac Coupe DeVille. The 1978 Chrysler New Yorker Brougham was more than just a luxury car. It was Chrysler's last stand in the age of American excess. At over 231 inches long, this was one of the largest production sedans ever sold in the U.S., tipping the scale at nearly 5,000 pounds. Riding on the massive C-body platform, the Brougham came draped in vinyl roofs, chrome accents, and sharp-edged styling that made it look like a rolling executive suite. Under the hood, a 440 cubic inch big block V8, the last of its kind before emissions and downsizing took over. The interior was pure plush decadence. Button-tufted velour or leather, a full digital clock, power seats, windows, and an optional 8-track stereo system that turned every drive into a lounge session. Despite its elegance, the New Yorker Brougham was overshadowed by Cadillac and Lincoln, but real enthusiasts knew this was the car that gave you first-class ride quality and backseat space big enough for a board meeting. Today, it's a forgotten king of comfort, the last true Chrysler barge before the curtain dropped on Detroit's golden era of size and swagger. Number 7. 1977 Dodge Royal Monaco. The 1974 Oldsmobile 98 LS wasn't just big. It was absolutely monumental, both in size and presence. At over 232 inches long, it ranked among the largest cars ever to roll off an American assembly line. Built on GM's massive C-body platform, this flagship Oldsmobile came loaded with everything that made 70s luxury unforgettable. From its plush brocade seats and simulated wood trim to opera windows and more chrome than a jukebox diner. Under the hood, a burly 455 cubic inch rocket V8, delivering effortless torque and a smoothness that made it float over potholes like a cruise ship at sea. The LS trim meant you weren't just driving, you were being chauffeured, even if you were behind the wheel. And despite its size, the 98 LS moved with the quiet confidence of a car that knew it ruled the road. In today's world of compact crossovers and efficiency, the 74 Olds 98 LS is a forgotten skyscraper on wheels. A full-size salute to the days when America built cars as grand as its ambitions. Number 8. 1973 Chevrolet Impala Custom Coupe. The 1979 Lincoln Continental Mark V wasn't just a luxury car, it was a rolling art piece, a final tribute to the over-the-top elegance of 70s American design. Stretching a jaw-dropping 230 inches, it remains one of the longest two-door coupes ever sold in the US. Its signature profile featured a razor-sharp hood, hidden headlights, opera windows, and the unmistakable faux spare tire hump on the deck lid, a nod to Lincoln's classic styling cues. Under the hood lived a massive 400 or optional 460 cubic inch V8, tuned more for smooth cruising than neck-snapping speed. Inside, pure opulence. Padded leather seats, Cartier-branded clocks, real wood accents, and even optional gold-plated trim. The Mark V wasn't just transportation, it was status, especially in its designer series trims by Bill Blass, Cartier, and Givenchy. 1979 marked the end of the line for full-size luxury coupes before downsizing took hold, making this Mark V the last of the giants, a symbol of American extravagance that still turns heads at every stoplight. Number 9. 1975 Dodge Charger SE. Nicknamed Deuce and a Quarter for its colossal 225-inch length, the 1975 Buick Electra 225 was a rolling monument to Buick's golden age of luxury and land yachts. This car didn't whisper comfort, it shouted it through massive chrome bumpers, a waterfall grille, and body lines so long they looked like they were still loading when you walked past. Powered by a thunderous 455 cubic inch V8, the Electra delivered effortless torque and cloud-like ride quality that made highways feel like freshly paved runways. Inside, it was wall-to-wall decadence, pillow-soft velour seats, fake wood that glowed in the sunlight, and enough room in the back seat to host a small card game. Buick designed this beast for drivers who wanted Cadillac-level comfort without Cadillac-level price tags, and it delivered. The 75 model was one of the last before downsizing changed everything, making this Electra one of the final, true full-size American cruisers. Today, it's a forgotten masterpiece, big, bold, and unapologetically American. Number 10. 1963 Dodge Custom 880. If you wanted to glide through the 1970s in absolute silence and unmatched style, the 1973 Imperial LeBaron was your throne on wheels. At over 232 inches long, it rivaled the Cadillac Fleetwood and Lincoln Continental in size, but beat them in exclusivity. Built on its own platform, not shared with Chrysler or Dodge, the Imperial LeBaron was crafted for the elite few who didn't just want luxury, they wanted distinction. Under the hood sat a massive 440 cubic inch V8, whispering out torque and swallowing highway miles like they were nothing. The 73 model featured hidden headlamps, knife-edge fenders, and a front grille so bold it could have been on a warship. Inside, wall-to-wall plush, thick carpets, button-tufted seats, real wood grain, and more space than some studio apartments. It even had optional AutoTemp 2 climate control, an early step toward digital luxury. Despite its grandeur, the Imperial name faded into history after 1975, making the 73 LeBaron one of the last true independent luxury titans from Chrysler. A forgotten giant that deserves a royal comeback. These 10 oversized legends weren't just cars, they were a bold chapter of American design that dared to go big in every way. Which one stunned you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you love rare finds and forgotten horsepower, hit like, tap subscribe, and join us next time for more untold stories from the road.